Better now than later.
It's an interesting slide.
It's on my side.
Hey, Adam, click once just to make sure that.
Hello, I'm AMarch. I'm a senior at Wilmer High School, and I chose to focus my project on geotechnical engineering. So first off, what exactly is geotechnical engineering? Well, basically, geotechnical engineering studies the behavior of soils under certain conditions, such as wet conditions, dry conditions, or if the soil is under pressure, such as a structure being built in it. Geotechnical engineering also involves the study of the base of a structure, such as a steel or concrete structure. I chose to focus on geotechnical engineering because I have personal interest in civil engineering through observations through my dad's work, natural desire to build and work with my hands. So the first important step in understanding geotechnical engineering is the type of soils you're dealing with. Right here in Virginia, we have a wide diversity of soils that geotechnical engineers must adapt to when they're constructing. For example, in the Shenandoah Valley region, there are a lot of high plasticity clays. And these are clays that basically, when they get wet, they are very susceptible to molding and changing. Right here in Greene County, we have Piedmont soils, which is a traditionally very rocky soil, very low plasticity clays. Moving east past Piedmont, the soils get more sandy and silty because of the rivers that flow through it. And then in the coastal plain, in the tidewater area, there are a lot of traditionally sandy materials. And once you get right near the Chesapeake Bay and Atlantic Ocean, the soils are pretty much marine sand. And this means that water can very easily flow under. For example, such a city in Norfolk, there are building codes that prohibit residential houses from digging 5 basements because of the instability that may cause to this general structure. Geotechnical engineering has a lot of applications in real life. It is the Ragged Mountain Dam, which was an earth dam completed just a couple months ago in the AMarch region. Basically, in this earth dam, geotechnical engineers took 600,000 cubic yards of soil to make a gradual slope on the side of the Ragged Mountain Reservoir. You see in the picture right here, the old Ragged Mountain Dam, which is very inefficient. It was an old concrete dam, very small. It kept the Ragged Mountain Reservoir at a very small level. Well, this new dam, water height of the reservoir, 30 feet, billions of gallons to the maximum capacity of the reservoir. And this is very significant in the future of the city of Charlottesville and surrounding AMarch County. However, if geotechnical engineering does not have the right proper materials, it can be devastating. One of the most famous buildings in the world is a result of poor geotechnical engineering. When constructors were looking at the soils at the time, they didn't really take in consideration the soils. They gave away very easily when they started building it. They tried to compensate, but the tower just kept leaning. But for a while, the soil actually held on because there was enough pressure on the soil to prevent it from completely sliding. But recently, in the 20th century, architects had to take some measures to make sure that the building just didn't fall over altogether. By this, they tied tons of lead to the other side of the building to counterbalance. However, not all geotechnical mistakes are as beautiful as Leaning Tower of Pisa. The picture to the right here is Port-au-Prince, Haiti, circa 2010. Just after didn't really have any building codes. Much of the residential and commercial neighborhoods were just devastated because of the low quality concrete structures. It set the country back years in financial stability, and they are still recovering from it today. question that got me throughout this project is, what new technologies can be used to plan a geotechnical design that's both financially efficient and high quality in Central Virginia? But also, I chose to expand upon this by not just focusing in the Central Virginia area, but in other areas of the country and maybe even other regions of the world. My mentor throughout this process was Chris Webster. Chris Webster received his master's degrees in civil engineering from Virginia Tech, and he has worked with Schnabel Engineering for 28 years. He was the branch manager of Charlottesville for about 15 years, but he has recently left to pursue his own business. My internship was conducted at Schnabel Engineering firm 56 by Jim Schnabel. It is one of the firms in the mid-Atlantic region. This picture right here is the Charlottesville branch where most of my internship took place. This is a picture of me during one of the sessions of my internship. In this particular session, I'm helping the Schnabel crew with CCRLs. CCRLs are basically this test that the Schnabel crew has to go through every 6 months to make sure that they're up to date on methods and they are capable of performing. Is a company will give the Schnabel crew a certain bag of concrete mix or soils, and then the Schnabel crew has to perform certain tests on it to make sure that they know what they're doing and they get the right results. Then these results are compared to the actual result that they should have gotten, and then the branch is getting a rating. Since this is testing the Schnabel crew, I mostly help with the timing, like the setting of concrete, the mixing of concrete, and other tasks like that. Some basic methods that I learned throughout my internship are drill augering and a nuclear density gauge. Drill augering is quite simply just digging a hole in the ground to analyze the soil underneath it. Most drill augers are equipped with tubes that can extract the soil right out of the ground in a natural setting. This is very important because if you just dig a hole and extract the soil from the ground, it's not really going to reflect the natural state that the soil is in. If you put the tube down and have the soil right in its natural state as it was in the ground, it will preserve the moisture, the density, the capacity, the texture. It's very important to understanding how you can build on this structure. A nuclear density gauge uses a radioactive isotope to calculate the approximate density in the ground beneath. Basically how it works is it takes a radioactive isotope such as the cesium atom, which can fire gamma rays into the ground. It calculates how many gamma rays are fired into the ground and how many are reflected up, because this will reflect density. For example, in this picture here, since the nuclear density gauge is on asphalt, the density is obviously going to be very high because a lot of gamma rays reflect off the thick asphalt right back up to the machine. But if you go to a softer soil or clay, a lot of gamma rays will penetrate more easily into the ground and it will have a low density. Throughout my internship at Schnabel, I tried to discover new geotechnical engineering methods, and also I researched many, such as in X-ray diffraction. Many of you might be familiar with X-ray diffraction, as it has many scientific implications in many fields. Most notably, it was used by Rosalind Franklin in the 1950s to famously picture the double helix structure of DNA. Basically, how X-ray diffraction works is it sent a small tube of X-rays into a crystal or a mineral in this case. And the X-ray would naturally diffract off the atomic structures. Using Bragg's law, scientists can discover approximately what the chemical is, analyzing the diffraction pattern of the X-rays. X-ray diffraction is being used in countries such as Pakistan, which is very interesting. Global implications that geotechnical engineering has. It shows that if it's being used in these countries, it does have potential. The new method I found is called intelligent compaction. Intelligent compaction works very similar to gauge. It fires gamma rays to the ground and calculates how maybe are reflected. If you have a 500 investigate a small stage to vehicles such as it has that's an example, plane of project. This can accurately reflect the density in each zone of plane. For example, in this picture, calculate areas of density that are very low, not very strong, and green are very strong. Now, if you're using a nuclear density gauge and every 25 feet, it can be very easily to miss that patch of green right there. It's important to have a consistent density level throughout the whole plane, because if you have very low density right here and then a high density right here, if a car drives over it, it will naturally go down, the high density will stay the same, and this can cause very inconvenient driving. I chose to focus the community service infrastructure, and this is because the construction projects are very studied. I found, however, since I was technically a minor, I could not do as much as I wanted to on the site. I couldn't handle power tools or anything like that. Mostly, I had to transport materials from site to site, and I made scaffolding such as this picture here. But I found this very dissatisfying because I wasn't using my hands. I wasn't as active as I wanted to be. To cope with this, I started volunteering at the Habitat store. The Habitat store takes in donated furniture and appliances. It has its volunteers fixes or cleans or constructs them for the sale back to the community for the profit organization. Here, there was not really any constrictions about my age, and I can do whatever I want. The general manager of the Habitat store is Rebecca Hightower, who oversaw most of my community service there. As I've said, some of the jobs that Habitat for Humanity can be seen in these pictures of me right here. I have to clean any furniture that has cloth according to I have to transport materials to the store. Event out in my school for Habitat for Humanity that store was out. I was using my base. Basically, and this helps construct furniture. You see, recently I just set up a school for the that help construct it, and you see the Habitat store here and sell them again for profit. So, well, this project will manage a lot of things at different times. Going into this project, when you're looking at it as a junior, it's very scary because there's so many factors that you have to calculate that you don't think you can do it. But I learned that with proper time management and splitting up duties over a schedule, you get it done. If I didn't leave though, my community service a little bit school year instead of at the end of the school year we're at right now. If I had to give advice to future seniors, while time management is also important to learn stress management. I mean, I'm sure most of them know stress as they take in AP biology and other very difficult classes. And you just have to know that a lot of things in life when you plan, they aren't going to go the way you want, or they're going to go very wrong. You have to learn how to cope with this and adjust. And as the old phrase goes, life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. As for me, I would study at the Virginia Tech, possibly geotechnical engineering or structural. And I just had some acknowledgments here. I want to thank Ms. Newman, senior advisor, who helped me throughout the whole year. Chris Webster, my mentor, Rebecca Hightower, the community service overseer, and first the Burbick's administrators, Mr. Curry, Mr. Sill. Not just for this year, but for pretty much my whole trip in Burbick's, as it's been a very long, strange trip it's been. And any questions?
before your presentation, we were talking about our profound ignorance with regard to the subject.
Yes, geotechnical engineering, playing with dirt. I found that one thing geotechnical engineers don't like is calling it dirt. It's soil, all right? So I found that was kind of just a play on words, and it was a nice title.
Is it problematic, though, that so few people recognize and understand the importance of soil?
If you're going on everyday life, it's not essential that everyone should know this. But it's important to know that this building we're staying in right day and all other buildings helping out with this. Like the William Monroe School probably could have been made without geotechnical engineering helping. So it is important to know the effects it has, even though you may not see it as often as other engineering fields. But it's just you can't really be ignorant to it. I'll say you have to understand that it's there and know that it's important and that it's an important field that people will go into. And I mean, it's a still developing field with the new technologies that are coming out.
I kind of piggyback on that, Adam, and that is how much does the knowledge of geotechnical engineering, particularly in a particular region, like play out in terms of like building codes and things like that? Is it require assessment before you start, or is it just kind of it's a good idea?
No. You have to assess the soil you're building on. You want to know exactly what soil is. I mean, I don't want to go too in detail because I might bore you, but there are a lot of different types of soils and aspects of the soils that you have to understand before laboratory test them. Like that Ragged Mountain Dam, it took years to make because of public forums. They had to explain exactly what they were doing, and it was a very large site. They had to take samples all over and make a full plan before they even start construction. I mean, when you look at the Ragged Mountain Dam, it was about maybe a year of construction and a couple years of actually being improved and funded.
Do you have any surprises? Did you learn anything that you didn't know?
Well, going into this field, I wasn't exactly sure with geotechnical engineering. I knew that it had to deal with building a base of some sort with a structure. Wasn't sure, but I think most of it is actually kind of just common sense when you really think. There are a lot of details in there that you have to understand, but the general concepts of geotechnical engineering are basic. You have to understand if the soil is going to sink on you, how strong you have to make the structure. So I wouldn't say there was too many surprises in geotechnical engineering, but it was a very interesting field overall.
Adam, I think you told me at some point that they had to change the plan for the Ragged Mountain Dam. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Right.
That's interesting.
So the geotechnical engineers, again, the field is not perfected yet, and that's why all these new methods. The dam, they initially took soil samples, or they estimated soil samples that weren't exactly accurate in the field. So they had to go in and do numerous tests to confirm that what they had under the ground was actually underground, basically.
Yeah, because they went from they went to an earth dam. What were they going to build originally?
Originally, they were actually thinking about making a large concrete dam, such as the Ragged Mountain Dam. But they discovered that the cost of making this dam and the large size of it would be very inefficient, and you have to build very high, obviously. So they thought that an earth dam was probably the cheapest way, and it's been used in a lot of other places, such as Chris Green Lake has an earth dam, or driving next to it. And frankly, more natural to the setting, because the problem with the Ragged Mountain Dam was a lot of activists in Charlottesville were protesting that it may affect the environment, which it does to a small portion, but having the earth dam was more reflecting nature, I believe.
And then you also talked about Haiti and countries that were underdeveloped in your paper quite a bit.
Well, again, developing countries such as Haiti and other Caribbean countries or South America, pretty much every country around the world, they don't really have any building codes. I actually looked at the small country of Nepal, and they were actually had students coming over to American University to study geotechnical engineering for 4 years, and then they would return to Nepal to work for the government there, since the government paid for their education. Systems like that could very lead to developing countries to have a strong base for geotechnical engineering.
Thank you.